It's the purest form of fishing. It's giving the fish a chance. Some of the places you're fly fishing in are the most picturesque places in the world.
It's very relaxing, therapeutic. It takes you into a different place. All your cares and woes disappear. When you're on the river, you think of nothing else but the river and the fish.
To a fly fisherman, it's almost a religion. It's the atmosphere, the solitude, the oneness with nature. They're going to be where the water is the cleanest, where the water is the most pure, where the water is oxygenated, where it's cold, where there's not a lot of people, there are not a lot of things to spook it. So when you put all that together, you're talking about a very beautiful place. You're talking about high in the mountains, you're talking about away from people.
This is the Weir Dam, located below South Holston Dam in the tailwaters, which provides increased oxygen level in the water, allowing for more aquatic life, including insect life and plant life, which helps to feed the fish, such as brown trout and rainbow trout.
We were talking about only where naturally occurring things are going to be. Nobody is going to go that far out of the way without pure thoughts in their head. A trout is not going to bite anything that doesn't naturally occur in that stream.
With fly fishing, our food offerings are imitations of natural fish diet.
You're fishing with an insect, and you have to consider what stage of development that insect is in during the year. You've got the nymph, the larva, the pupa, the adult, and each one of those stages of the insect is in a level of the water.
Thought they might eat a beetle. No beetle.
People come from all over the United States to fish in this general area.
If you take your shoes off and throw them in the river and walk barefooted for me, then you really love me.
What you're doing in fly fishing is you're taking a fly that looks exactly like a mosquito, same size, which means you're going to have hooks, very small hooks, made with different materials from hair, feathers, different naturally occurring materials in nature that are going to be tied to look exactly like a mosquito or a beetle or an ant or whatever is naturally occurring in that area. The purists prefer either tie their own or get them from a fly tyer. Wherever you can find the materials for that fly that's going to imitate that lure, that bug, or that beetle, or that ant, or whatever you're using, a fly tyer will have that in his supplies to tie that fly. And when you go into a fly shop, the owner of the fly shop would get them tied by a local fly tyer. And the beauty of the flies is that they're made with natural materials.
If I make, 20 or 30 of them this winter and have a good supply of them for the next summer, I'll get even more proficient at it. You're creating something that looks something like a damselfly or a mayfly or a sulfur fly. Things that live in that environment that hatch out on a regular basis.
In any bug you can think of, there's a fly to match it. There are thousands of flies, and you don't carry thousands of flies, you only carry the ones you're going to be needing that day. You're going to be in the water, so you're going to have waders on, wading boots. Now they have felt bottoms with studs that allow you to walk on slippery rocks. Some guys even carry a wading stick. Your fishing vest has 100 pockets in it, and you're going to have everything you need in your vest. Your hands are going to be free for the rod. You have to match the equipment to the fish you're going to be catching. There are, first of all, there are different sizes of rods, and they're based on the weight. For 2 or 3 feet above that mosquito-looking fly is going to be a line that's 2-pound test, and it's going to float. You're balancing that line with the rod so that when you're casting that fly, and remember that fly I said is the size and weight of a mosquito, so there's no weight to that fly at all. So unlike a bass fisherman that's throwing a weight out there, you're casting the line, you're casting the weight of the line. When you see the classic dry casting, what you see and what people recognize as fly fishing, what you're doing is you're casting the line because there's no weight on the end. You're feeding line with your left hand as you're going back. You feed a little more, you whip it back, you feed a little more. You're letting out line to the distance that you want your fly to go. So you have to naturally present that with a perfect cast above that trout. If you splash it, it's going to spook the trout. So you have to let it naturally land, fly first on the water, and it's going to sit there just like a mosquito would. And that trout, if it's in a mood to bite, and if you made that perfect cast, it's going to take that mosquito. Landing the fish, it just means you have to keep tension on that line. And once again, the whole essence is the purity of the sport. You're giving the fish a fighting chance. Gently remove that hook, and hold it by the tail and you kind of work the fish back and forth to get the water back in the gills and let it swim off. And then in the end, you let that fish go. You can't get any better than that. That's fly fishing. That's the way you want to go. You know, out there on the stream.
Until I can no longer wade in the water. So I would say 95, 65 now, it's another 30 years.
The solitude of that guy out there on the stream, just him fishing, nobody else around, that's magical. That's a religious experience.